Some Bills. J-Dog back to answer more goddamn questions. All goddamn paint skis still going up. A couple came in today and picking up to where we goddamn left off as ones that came in yesterday. First one from Buck and Mike Shaw, also known as Mike Violet. Paid question. J-Dog, paid rant. I don't understand why so many metalheads love Burzum. Varg gets that metal legend status just because he killed a slightly smaller shrimp than himself. Yeah, actually, I'm wondering, how tall is goddamn Varg? I don't know. What is his goddamn official documented height? I'll tell you this, if that 130-pound pussy would have came at me with that pocket knife, I'd have shoved it up so far up his ass, he would have let out a scream similar to his yell off the first album, and you would be able to see the knife tip poking out his mouth hole. I've heard one Burzum song that didn't suck. I hope the tampon Cavalt tough guys don't cry too hard. Yeah, I mean, don't be wrong. I understand, Burzum's legendary status because, again, you got to look at it in the context of when it came out. The first, one, two releases. Um, Black metal wasn't really that super established. Again, like realistically, the first black metal record of all time where you like this sounds like black metal is Bathory Bathory. It's not Venom. Venom created the goddamn name. And if you want to put them in the first generation black metal, still call it black metal, that's fine. But as far as what people recognize as today of the black metal sound, it was Bathory Bathory. Now, granted, that was like a good 7 years or so before Burzum. So it's a decent time frame. But again, you got to do the math too. Like the way I do it is when you look at 84 to let's say like 91, is that the first year that Burzum came out? 90, 91, probably some of that era. Say it's that 7 years. Well, we're in 2024. If something came out in 2014, do you consider that a long time ago? I don't. So that's not that big of a time frame gap. And not only that, but it seems like after Bathory, there wasn't a ton of black metal coming out that wasn't like that people could, where it's not wishy washy. It's not Sodom. It's not, well, is it death metal? Is it black metal? It wasn't really until like, again, because even like Sarcophago IRI, some people consider it death metal, some people consider it black metal, right? Um, it wasn't really until like, yeah, 1990, maybe. I'm trying to think, even 89. I guess Mayhem Death Crush. And even that okay, there's a one-off to where black metal was a genre officially to where stuff was coming out consistently of this kind of a music. So you had Bathory. There's probably a couple things in there I'm kind of overlooking or forgetting. Death Crush in 87, so that's 3 years after Bathory Bathory. So there's already a 3-year time gap, and that Death Crush is not even a full length technically. It's technically a goddamn EP. And then 87, it wasn't really until like 1990 then, man. Until like more black metal albums are coming. Because even like a lot of the Norwegian bands, which I question how much those guys weren't just what I want to talk about today, man. A lot of people love why certain bands are popular. It's because it's word of mouth and what other people like, what they feel like they have to look. Look at the early Norwegian black metal scene, dude. They're all death metal bands. Dark Throne, Immortal, they switched over to goddamn black metal. When Mayhem started blowing up and Burzum coming along, then they started playing black metal. It's like, why? Because your buds were? That should tell you everything you need to know. And realistically, for the most part, you'll see where a lot of those goddamn bands went, why they changed so drastically or differently. It's like, it's not because you didn't play black metal because that's what you were truly fucking passionate about. You were just kind of like influenced, want to fit in, the cool club, um, trend hopping, just don't think for yourself. I didn't know what a goddamn word to use, but it's something along the lines for a lot of them, I would say. Maybe not all of them, but so Burzum people getting its popularity. I mean, I get it. I mean, when it came out, again, how much black metal was there? So it was a original style of music, or at least pretty goddamn original, for that time. Well, there wasn't too much stuff. Wow, this doesn't really sound like you can't like really compare to something. There's all kind of a fresh sound with Immortal, Emperor, all of them are coming out. And then all the bands over in Sweden and all around the world when other black metal bands are coming out. When it was around that time frame, it wasn't like, oh, sounds like this, oh, sounds like that. Now that's 100% what it is. Death metal too, grindcore, same thing. It's the same old shit. You can always compare it to another goddamn band, and again, it's nobody's fault. It is because it's all been done. So, yeah, I get it, especially in the context lens of looking at it of guys, they picked it up back then. They probably, holy shit, this is evil as fuck. That's why when I laugh when people tear apart a band like Cradle of Filth. Dude, look at it in the fucking lens of when it came out. Principle of Evil Made Flesh. Granted, yeah, that was like 93 or 94. Who sounded like that album? Danny's fucking voice and just the style of black metal are playing. Even the lyrical content was different than whatever what the other bands were doing. It was totally different. And the guys I've talked to that picked it up back then when it first came out, that's exactly what they said. You're comparing it in a lens now with some fucking dumbass 22-year-old. He sees it. I'm like, we got into metal, probably in 2017, 7 years ago when he was 15. He saw Cradle of Filth and Hot Topic. That's in his mind. Oh, this gay ass fucking gothic band? Yeah, now. Fucking 20 years after that album came out, maybe longer than that, depending on when you got in this. But if it was 2014, 2015, and 94, yeah, 20 years. That's not how it started off. Again, that is the exact equivalence of being like, who likes shitty ass Slayer? Rain and Blood? That did nothing because you see them now. You got them in 24, 2015. You saw a God Hates Us All t-shirt and Hot Topic. So you equate the entire band, everything they did to that. Dude, you look like a fucking jackass. You just flat out doing it. And again, I'm not sticking up for later Cradle of Filth or later Slayer. I rip on that shit all the time. It's fucking trendy as fuck. Um, I get that. Metallica, same thing. You're gonna say Kill 'Em All is did nothing, junk record. It is in the lens when you look at it. Fucking like you got man, I got them when I Saint Anger. You mean this people like that band? We're not talking about that dumb dumb. And that just shows that you don't know your history and you're listening to this shit in a completely incorrect lens. And that is a huge problem. Like I said, there's a positive, negative, everything with YouTube, Bandcamp. You just have everything at your fingertips and you're listening to the new goddamn fucking any new death metal album that came out today. And at the same time, you're 14 years old, you're listening to whatever came out last week, today, new band, we got our demo out. You're listening to that, and then you're fast forwarding, you're comparing to Possessed Seven Churches, listening to that for the first time. Yeah, I don't know, dude. This Seven Churches, this isn't really death metal. It's not as heavy as Tomb Mold. Like, I just don't get it. Dude, you look fucking stupid, Bubbles. And that's why if you really don't want to look goddamn stupid, kind of be in the loop and just know your goddamn history. What I would highly recommend, if you're going to check bands out on YouTube, this is all for all you goddamn youngins. Try to refrain from checking out new bands. If you're new to this and you've only been in this 1, 2, 3 years, look at the year. If you see 2017, back burner. Back burner. Look for fucking 92 or under. 92, between 1980 and 1992. That's the metal you should be checking out first. Why? Because you're going to hear it with a less polluted mind and hearing from where it started. To be honest, 99% of that shit's better anyways. And then you're going to have more of just a less polluted brain and give it a more of an honest, true take. And it's the only way you can kind of experience the journey from when it came out to up today. When you finish those years and you go up there, then fine. Go up to the 2017s up, 2015s up. Just even, honestly, just even 2000s up. Because 2000 up, I mean, I'm not going to say if your band started in 2000. Toxic Holocaust, a new band. Not goddamn really, not anymore. But, and I'll say that, like, for example, as a whole, I like Toxic Holocaust way more than I do Sodom. Sorry to say, I just fucking do. Now, is Sodom way more influential? Because I gotta say, well, you were to shut this, dog. Dum Dums watch new every day, and not to mention half these fucking idiots that goes in one ear out the other. They need to be, you gotta spell it out 5 times, and even then, I don't even know if it sinks then. Yes, Sodom was way more influential. There would be no Toxic Holocaust without them. They would help spawn the goddamn genre, way more of an important band, no doubt about it. I'm sorry, a lot of that Sodom shit, Jabba the Hutt shit, I don't give a fuck about. Surfing Bird, and I just don't care. New Sodom came out. I didn't even listen to it. Don't give a fuck. I mean, maybe it's fine, but I just didn't care. Having said that, though, if I would recommend to a new metalist get in it, yes, go listen to In the Sign of Evil first. Go listen to Obsessed by Cruelty first. Persecution Mania, all that. Listen to that first before you listen to Toxic Holocaust. You should. You should be in the goddamn loop. Now, I'm not saying I heard all the early stuff the very first two, but I wasn't completely fucking dumbfounded. You know, I didn't hear Venom. I heard Cannibal Corpse before I heard Venom. So yeah, that is out of order. But first off, when I got into this shit, it was in the 90s. You didn't have anything at your fingertips. You had to buy it. And at least, you know, I guess that was fucking over 27 years ago or whatever. So there wasn't as much pollution. Again, looking at it, when I got in this and first started going to shows in 98, it seemed like, yeah, holy shit. Scream Bloody Core came out in 87. That's a lifetime ago. It was fucking 9 years ago. Granted, now I'm 98. I'm 13, so it does seem like a lifetime ago because I was 3 goddamn years, you know. Yeah, well, 2 years old when the Scream Bloody Gore came out, 87. That does seem like a goddamn lifetime ago. It wasn't 9 years. That's not long at all. So I didn't have as much catching up, so to say, to do. But that'd be my recommendation to it now, because yeah, you just I honestly, it's just you do what you want. I don't even care. I almost just feel bad for you. Your lens is so polluted and such dog shit when you're hearing all this later stuff first and then going back and comparing like, oh, this isn't as good. Yes, it is. So no, I get why people like Burzum. I personally think it's kind of boring. I think Varg's vocals sound cool as hell on the first couple releases. But yeah, the later on, the only reason I get annoyed with Burzum is not. I totally understand people like pretty much the philosophy or how the fuck you pronounce that goddamn record down. I get that. The argument when he was in prison, look, he didn't have access to shit. I can understand maybe supporting him because you were a fan of it and you thought it was cool, maybe. But that post prison shit, dude, those are just bad. You put them on like this is just bad, shitty black metal. Now I only heard the first comeback record when he was out of prison. I haven't heard the rest. I can only imagine how bad they suck. What's annoying about that is he's only getting a pass because it's fucking dick riders. And again, that's fine. But oh, you dick ride fucking Deicide, Cannibal Corpse. Again, the fucking difference is dumb, is that they didn't drastically fucking change. They kind of set out what they fucking said to do, and those guys, the reason they're annoying is because they give that shit a pass, but then they are ripping the Deicide and stuff. It makes no sense. That's the only reason it's slightly fucking annoying. But if someone's like, yeah, I love Burzum and Oshki and shit. I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't particularly love it, but it has its place. It is what it is. It's the true shit. It's part of the history of obviously black metal, but just metal in general. So it definitely has its place. It has my respect there. But is it something you're going to probably walk in the shop and the dog's spinning it? Probably not, unless I just, for whatever reason, I'm like, I haven't listened to this in 20 goddamn years. I'm just curious to throw it back on the player. Because the truth be told, like the self-titled and ASCII and shit, will I ever put that back on the record player anytime in my lifetime before I die? Probably. Probably. So, yeah, it gets that. So, no, I don't, I think you're being a little harsh on him. I'll say that. So, that's my goddamn take on it. Harry Quinn, paid goddamn fucking tip, I guess. He says, not for the channel. Just chipping the dog because he's keeping the scene alive. Who else goes to a show of bands he's never listened to and organizes a video with the singer whilst he's there to shout out the band? Yeah, I mean, I'll only do that for bands that I like, or at least semi-respect. Did that for the Fester Decay because I checked it out and I liked it. I'm like, fuck, dude, they're from Japan. I'm going to fucking, go out there and shoot a goddamn video. The Bowel Erosion, I wasn't familiar with them either. Now, if it was just them playing Bowel Erosion, would I have gone? Band from New York? No. Just because it was on a Monday night. I found out about the show literally that morning. And I was already really fucking busy, so I wasn't planning. I was like, the fact that they're coming all the way from Japan, I feel like I could suck it up and fucking just go. So that's why I did. And then when I interviewed their merch tables right next to each other, I was like, yeah, I checked you guys out too briefly on YouTube. Gore Grind, Baller Rush, just do a video. Why not? So I did. Didn't know what the guys looked like, knew nothing about them. I asked them, like, when they're sitting there, I asked them, are you the band? Yeah, I don't know the fuck. I just found out about you today. And so, yeah, if you want to shoot a video, they're like, cool. So it was easy. And again, like, you take what you can get, too, because some of these guys, it's like pulling fucking teeth. I'm not going to mention names. Some of them I probably already have in past. They just don't know, dude. I've asked. They don't either say no or they give it the yeah, but it's code for fucking no because it's beyond fucking obvious. So I know how to read goddamn code. And again, unless you're really doing something, like when I asked it, I specifically said it to Fester Decay, the Haru, whatever his name was. Um, right now, yeah, I mean, because honestly, unless you're setting up, unless you're the band going on next, you're loading gear, you're sitting at your table. Let's do it now. Like, when did you think I meant? I'm not talking about them. They both were like, yeah, no, let's do it right now. That's an acceptable response. That's very rarely the answer. Yeah, let's see how the night goes. I know how the fucking night's going to go. It's going to go like this. Band after band's going to play. You're 3 bands in. You're going to fucking play. And at best, maybe you'll want to do it afterwards, which I don't want to do it afterwards. My ass wants to be in the car on the way home, get my ass to goddamn bed. Why can't you just do it now? And not to mention, well, dog, maybe he wants to do it afterwards. Maybe. But I have done them afterwards. And I'm willing to do them afterwards. But I'm only doing them if it's, yes, let's definitely do it, brother. Hit that motherfucking iron fist. When we're done, just let me freshen up. We're down in the basement doing it. If that's the answer, okay, cool. Now, yeah, see how I'm feeling, bro, after the show. I already know what that means. That means you're not interested, dude. That's your polite way of saying, fuck off, Dumbo. I don't want to do it. I can read between the goddamn lines. I'm not staying up all night and then leave there with my goddamn Dumbo tail between my goddamn legs. Ain't fucking happening. That happens all the time. All the fucking time. Because the wishy-washy, it's like, again, yeah, unless you're fucking busy, if you're not willing to do it right now, unless you're busy, that tells me you're not willing to do it. Because like literally, what are you doing? Like you're doing nothing right now. You're doing nothing right now. And you're overthinking. I'm not setting up some big elaborate production. It's my phone. I hit record. We start talking like we're talking right now. That's the process. That's it. When we're done, see you later, goddamn it. Click off. Thanks, guys. Out of here. That's the way it is. Not overcomplicated at all, goddammit. So yeah, I kind of take who I can get. Daniel Throne, paid question. What's up, J-Dog? Just saw Exhumed. Picked up one of the CD splits. So when you're talking about that goddamn Hemdale split out on goddamn Hells. CDLB, goddammit. Get it while it lasts. Ain't gonna last long, brah. Keep up the good work. I got all the guys' signatures except Sebastian on my Death Revenge patch. Cheers. Yeah, it's cool. The guys in Exhumed, all cool as fuck. Matt Harvey, Raw Sewage, and Mike Hamilton. Sebastian, he's the only guy I do not know. I think I met him very briefly. He's the young buck, the newer guy. From what I understand, I've only heard good things about him. Seems like a very nice kid. But I can't vouch for him. I don't know him personally. So that's what I have to say about that. And I get one goddamn last one in here. It's a goddamn review. Josh Dominus. Paid review. What's up, Jane? Oh, I got another paid review for you. You might remember I sent you the song Fake Religion by my band Morticide. Sounds kind of familiar. A little while back. I loved your response to it. Wanted to send you the title track from our new album, Death Cannot Hold Those with Purpose. Coming out in September. We're going for more of a black and death metal sound on this album. Since the last time I sent you a song, we've played our first 3 shows, the most recent one in Albany, New York on May 8th. Opening for Fester Decay and Bowel Erosion. There you the fuck go, brah. The band interviews I just did. I was at the Youngstown, Ohio show, West Side Bowl, the club that Dog is going to have his J-Dog show at June 21st, 2025. That's 2025, motherfucker. Don't come asking me, this is 2024, Dumbo. This is so 2025, June 21st, Saturday, goddammit. That's the fucking plan. Why isn't it announced yet, dog? Because I'm not announced since I have all the goddamn bands. I want minimally 3 more. I got 2 that are confirmed. 3 to 4 more. We'll see what we get. And what are you waiting for, dog? Well, to be honest, when I go to Milwaukee, I'm probably going to start aggressively texting and emailing some ideas after I get some conversations in at Milwaukee and Maryland, talking to guys that know guys, maybe other bands, et cetera, getting some ideas. After that, if I walk away with nothing, like nothing can't pan out of that, then other ideas I have, I'll send emails out. Because I do have some ideas, but nothing set goddamn stone. So there's nothing really to announce yet. I'm not gonna announce babies. So it's cool that you just interviewed them at the time of me writing this. This song still has programmed drums. So it's cool that you programmed. It just came out before, and I got band members. The final album will have live drums. Also, forgot to tell you how old we are last time. I'm 22. Yep. So make sure you same age. Fucking check out those oldies first, goddammit, so you don't have that polluted goddamn brain and you're metal educated as properly as can be. 22 and do the vocals, bass. My drummer Isaac is 19. God damn, motherfucker ain't even old enough to buy a beer legally. And my guitar player Shane is 34. Man's age. Here's the song. Let me know what you think of it. Brotown. Send me the YouTube link. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Um, the vocals reminded me most reminiscent. It was like, whoa! But the band that came up was Lividity, Age of Clitoral Decay, which that's my favorite Lividity release. And part of the reason I like that goddamn album is because the vocals sound totally different um, than anybody. Especially, I mean, I'm sure someone's come along the lines, well, kind of you guys, and but I'm sure there's bands that sound directly like him or ripped it off. None that I've heard personally, but I'm sure there's probably somebody on Pathos or Severed Records or someone that sounds identical. I imagine there's somebody on that roster. Um, but yeah, Lividity, Age of Clitoral Decay. Who was the guy singing? Was it Matt? There was the Bishop guy. There was two singers. Basically, once he left, I didn't like it, man. They had like a couple other releases. I'm like, I didn't dig it. Lost all the goddamn magic. Um, yeah, you said programmed drums. It sounded either highly triggered or drum machines. I'm like these triggers sound like shit. That's what it sounded like. So that was our complaint. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty solidly well written song. Um, pretty easy to get into. Death metal, worth checking out, man. Morticide. Spell that goddamn out for you bubbles. Morticide. Check them out. Yeah, they're on goddamn Metal Archives. I guess I reviewed them before, right? So I'm wondering why that goddamn name looked familiar. Looks like this is gonna be their second full length. It's out in September. It's definitely worth a goddamn listen. It definitely does not suck by any stretch. The biggest part was you said, but you already clarified the goddamn drums are programmed. That did stick out. Like, not that it ruined it, but it's just like, these. I mean, where it was just obvious to where it's like, why do these drums need to sound like this? Like, and I question that for a lot of bands, some of which I like. It's like, why did you feel the need for these triggers to sound so obvious? Like, again, I can understand it, and I'm not a drummer, but I can make it a fucking educated assumption for bands like Christian or, Angel Corpse, Infernal War, stuff that's just blasting nonstop, that it may be a necessity because I suck. Maybe not that they don't fucking suck, dude. That, especially live, they get able to fucking do that off, and it's going to sound, precise. But if you're just throwing some blasts here and there, I do not see any fucking need whatsoever, especially thrash and shit. What the fuck do you need triggers for, dude? It should have a nice fucking heavy thud. Like, for example, the blasts on Recaputrefaction sound awesome. Listen to those Ken Owen goddamn blasts on it. The double bass and shit, it sounds fucking great. It sounds heavy, not clicky like a fucking typewriter. But again, I understand it in the context of why some bands would do it. And if it's mixed well and it's recorded well, and sometimes it sounds fine. It's like they don't sound like ass. This, but you said it was programmed. I would be like, yeah, this dude is. It's not, again. It's not that it sucks. It's just like it seems like I'm just questioning why. Like, why would you think that's a good idea? Not you. I mean, because you were clarifying it. But because bands release that shit all the time, like, what are you doing, dude? Like, why did you record it like that? I'm like, yep, that was a good idea. It's like, how the fuck do you figure, man? So yeah, I mean, get some goddamn heavy sounding goddamn drums in there, and you should be pretty goddamn good to go. I think it was definitely a pretty solid goddamn listen. Comes with surge, you know what we're gonna do, but I got my skin answer right in the morning. Later, goddamn it.